Hey, how's everybody doing? Limster out here, getting it done. Doing the best, look, backlit. Doing the best I can to do everything right. I got everything basically knocked down on all the cracks. All the flaking paint I had to get off there, man. I mean, the guy wouldn't want me to go and do a lot of work to this, but I told him I didn't mind doing the extra work that it took to get this thing down to where I feel comfortable putting some paint on it to where the wind don't blow some flakes off and then show flaws. It got on my conscience. So this is what I did. I got rid of all the paint that was flaking completely and cleaned out the bed of the truck. I couldn't stand. We don't know if we're going to have enough primer to do all that. I had to go ahead and knock that Bondo crack down. I couldn't just leave it alone. I couldn't. So I took the Bondo crack off and feathered all the Bondo edges out and got it all looking good. Masked it off. Got everything all done and ready. I think it looks pretty good. I'm satisfied with the effort that I put in it. If I didn't care, I would have just blowed it off, took some wet sandpaper and feathered the, basically a blow and a scuff and shoot. But I went overboard with it, man, because I just wanted this guy to have a, for what it's worth, just do the best I can with what I got. I'm limited on a lot of things. If it'd been, total restoration, yeah, go have it soda blasted and go all the way down to bare metal. But like I said, we're just trying to get it one color. We're not trying to cover anything. He's not trying to deceive anybody. We even, we left all this chipped, all this rust that's cancer. He's got the other body panels that he's gonna throw in with it, so we ain't worried about that. I washed it all down, dirt, wax, and grease remover, before I even started masking it, because I wanted my tape to stick. There ain't nothing worse than getting in the middle of a shoot and then your paper blowing off. I mean, it's just one of those things. Even though that somebody's going to have to take this thing completely apart and redo it and take all the windows out of it, I didn't want, probably replace all the rubbers. I've just been taught, man, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, and that's that I'm trying to accomplish for this guy, is for somebody to walk up on it and have kind of like a decent impression of, it looks decent. I don't want to totally deceive anybody. I could have put Bondo and newspaper in there and all that crap and covered it up. We're not trying to cover it up. We're just trying to get it covered and in one color. A rolling chassis sale, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about handing this guy the camera and shooting a little bit of footage on this is just the introduction. I'm probably going to edit it together, but I'm going to hand him the camera and let him get some maybe some of me mixing paint, or just giving some of my personal advice. I'm not a teacher by all means. I'm a DIY guy. I've only learned from my mistakes in the past. And I've made a lot of mistakes in my past. Did a lot of things and got done with the job, and then other people walk up on me and say, man, why did you do that? You should have did this, you should have did that. So, I've had enough experience through the years to know what is totally wrong and what is, the basics. You got to get the basics down. You got to have a clean surface. You got to have the dust-free surface. I'm out here painting on top of the ground. Probably going to take the water hose and wet the ground down around it. This ain't a body shop. This is just a backyard way of doing it, I guess. I don't think I've ever painted on top of grass. I've always had a concrete surface, but this is what it is with the situation. I'm doing the best I can. We're going to wet it down with a water hose, get it at least damp to where it ain't going to blow dust up on my job. But I wanted to take the time to tell everybody that Share Bear, girl, you got a lot of knowledge on you, man. She's one that's been here from the beginning of my channel, and I really appreciate her being here. She left me the comment that maybe epoxy primer would be better, or AIC paint line, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not, Sherry Bear, please correct me if I'm wrong on that name, but it's Sherman, it's a paint line at Sherman-Williams. She explained in a comment that you can take and use that base color with an activator and get a lot better results as far as making this thing one color. We did look into it, and the nearest place that had it was all the way in Dallas, and that's about a 3-hour trip, 3.5, depends on traffic, and they didn't have it locally here to Sherman-Williams. It was out of town, but we was really highly considering using that, so I appreciate the advice. What we're going to use is this stuff right here. It's just regular old hot rod black acrylic lacquer primer surfacer, and 100% virgin solvents, and it's just Excel Auto Body Products. That's what we're choosing to use. It's about, I think it's like, I think it was around 15 bucks a quart. So that's what we're going to use, and I'm going to cut the camera off, get my paint mixed. It's a 1-to-1 mix. Probably going to go with a light tack coat, and then because we're just looking for one color, we're not looking to prime this and then sand on it and prime it and sand on it. We're looking just to cover it and make it one color, and this is what we got to work with. And I appreciate you, Sherry Bear, for sharing with me all the things you share with me, man. I mean, you're worth $1 million on this channel. You got a lot of knowledge in you for a girl. I'm just kidding, just kidding. She surprises me with all the knowledge she has. I think she has worked at a paint supply house once, and I think she quit working there. I hope she finds her roots again and goes back to mixing paint or working at a paint supply place again, because she is so awesome with some of her knowledge and some of her opinions. I hate to see her stray away and go get a Walmart job. But, you know, I think she's had a husband that's recently gotten hurt in an accident. I hope he's feeling better. I hope his recovery is doing well. And my prayers are with you on that one. But I'm going to get off here and get to mixing some of this paint up. I don't know if I'm going to share a lot while I'm shooting the paint, or shooting the primer, because I don't want to get off of focus on this camera and get, you know, stage fright. I don't know what I'm going to do. We're just going to play it by ear and see how it goes. Setting up the gun, I might do a little bit of that, you know. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. We'll just see how it goes, man. It's important to set your gun to air pressure and have a pattern, even pattern. And there's the ways that you do it, and I might just hand my buddy here the camera, the guy that owns the truck, and just might not get a lot into talking back and forth while I'm doing it, but you can get online and look. I'm sure I haven't really did too much looking, because I already know how to set a gun up, and except for the HVLP gun, that's kind of new to me. I've always used siphon feed, you know, the old Binks guns, you know, the kind that sucks it up out of the cup instead of gravity feed. So it's going to be, I've used HVLP one other time before, and it was pretty easy. I even completed a Pathfinder paint job. It was basic, nothing to it. I didn't have to struggle with it hardly at all. It's just something that I'm got to get used to using, because times have changed. Most people, the body shop that I went to here recently, man, the guy, he liked using the old school Bink style gun for priming. I've seen him use both, you know. Harbor Freight just for a prime gun, they work great. The adjustments on it are not fine-tuned like this Mac tool that I have. Classic Rod Society sent me, he sent this to me. It's Mac Tools, man. Econo coat. I sure do appreciate this, man. You've helped me out. You sent me a good gun, man. I can't wait to use it. I'm sure it's like driving a Cadillac opposed to driving a Pinto. I like this gun, man. Thank you for sending that to me. It's giving me the opportunity to use it. I know maybe I shouldn't use this high quality gun just for shooting primer, but hey, if you just make sure it's cleaned up when you're done with it, there shouldn't be no problem with doing that, and I sure appreciate it. So I'm gonna get off here and get my setup going and get this thing shot so I can get my bill paid at the end of the day. Tony, I'm probably gonna send this link to this video link to my landlord. He's been very understanding and being lenient with me through these months of struggling, you know, through my recovery on my with my foot issue and going to all these doctor's appointments and everything. He's been real lenient with me on the rent, and I'm a little bit behind right now. I'm probably gonna catch up here soon. April's coming, and everything's gonna be okay. But anyway, here it goes. Hey, it's me. Hey, my buddy was just really busy, man. He couldn't hold the camera today for me, but it's coming along. It's getting there. Probably gonna have to scoot that bed back a little bit so I can get the gun in there. He ain't really too much worried about that. I think we're gonna have just enough paint to finish the inside of this bed. Boy, I tell you, shooting with that HVLP gun, man, is totally different from shooting with the old school way. It takes a while to get used to it. Had to just keep playing with the controls and find a, you know, I'm used to that high hiss. Shh. It took a while to get over that shh and lay it on real with low pressure. I had to get that out of my head, that noise that I'm used to hearing. I'm used to hearing that noise out of a high pressure, low volume. we're high volume, low pressure now. But it's looking good. I think he's going to be satisfied with it when he gets back, checks it out. So I'm going to get off this camera and mix up a couple more. Go ahead and top it off and finish it out, man. I'm kind of satisfied with it, I really am. There's a couple of spots that I ain't really happy with because of the Bondo crack situation, but most of all, I got most of it, 99.9% of it gone. There's a couple of Bondo cracks down real low on the rocker panels and stuff, but hey, I think he's happy with it, man. It looks just the way he wants it to. One color, you know. 3 quarts did it, man. 3 quarts did the whole truck. It looks like I'm going to finish it with 3 quarts. I was kind of skeptical. I thought maybe I needed a whole gallon, but 3 quarts looks like it's going to handle it. Anyway, I'm going to get off here and finish this up, and might turn the camera back on maybe sometime when I go to peeling the paper off or something. But this is the video for the day, and I ain't done yet. But I'll catch up to y'all later. And thank everybody for giving me the support. I mean, I'm just grateful for this channel, y'all. I really am. Y'all give me a lot of support on here and a lot of knowledge. And thank you, Classic Ride for Society, for sending me that gun. I'm so blessed with the gun and how it performs. It's like driving Cadillac. I was right. It's the difference between driving a Cadillac and driving a Pinto. You know, the comfort on that thing and the controls are like mucho awesome. I've used a lot of Harbor Freight guns in my past, and the difference is, from what I can feel, is the controls are a lot touchier on a you know, it's the fine tuning of the air pressure and the fan especially, and the fine tuning of exactly how much paint you want coming out at the end of that tip is a lot more fine tuning ability there than a Harbor Freight gun. It's either wide open, it seems, or, you know, it's high, medium, and low. With the Mac spray gun, I think it's a whole lot better. I can actually adjust it to where it's just perfect. and that makes me feel better while I'm painting. Anyway, see y'all later. Till next time. Blimster out.